share the recording. So welcome to week number 8, last week from our level intermediate 2. And in this class, we're going to review a little bit about future. So we're going to check and remember future perfect and future perfect continuous. We have already studied that in the previous level on intermediate 1, but we're going to remember it. And we're going to discuss how can we mix conditionals. Listo? So let's start. How do you see yourself when you are 80 years old?
I think resting a lot with a numerous family.
A big family, numerous
Yeah.
family? Okay. Okay, so that's in terms like on personal goals, right? Do you, maybe do you have dreams or plans regarding your professional career or things that you would like to have accomplished?
Yeah. Professionally, I wish culminate my mastery in
Master.
my master in software engineer.
Okay, your
Uh,
master's degree in software
software engineer
engineering. Okay, good.
some years and continue working with the develop because I don't know, is that uh, that happy yeah, this kind is that happy
So it makes you happy.
yeah, makes me happy.
Exactly. That's the phrase that we can use. That is to make me, or we could say somebody, ¿cierto? Happy.
Yeah,
So
I
developing makes you happy.
yeah.
There we go. Okay, good. Nice. Okay. I would like to be like this lady, like super strong. Not como exaggerated with muscles and all of that, but to be strong, to be able to move and do things by my own.
Yeah,
Fast.
I am practicing sports and workout maybe
Working out.
three times or twice a week.
Exactly.
I consider a athletic person.
Exactly. So you
Uh,
don't want to lose that
yeah.
once you get old, right? Okay, good. So we're going to check a little bit about future activities, right? And the difference between the future perfect and the future perfect continuous, okay? So these are two possibilities of the future. And the first one, the future perfect, we're going to use it to talk about an activity that will be finished by a specific time in the future. So we can use it to describe maybe goals or accomplishments that you want to have once the specific time is reached. So for example, well, this is very short, no? In 10 minutes, this video will have finished. So it's something that is going to happen to be finished as soon as the time finishes, right? We're going to use will as a future form. Then we're going to use have because it's part of the perfect form and the past participle of the verb. So you could also say, number 2, by the end of class, I will have learned about the future perfect tense. Number 3, at the end of this trip, Luis will have visited 4 different countries. Number 4, we're late. By the time we get there, the bus will have left. Or number 5, by June, I will have been here for 6 months. Okay? So think about an activity by the time you reach 80 years old. That and tell us something, a goal or a specific activity that you want to have accomplished by that time.
It's difficult because it's a long
Bueno, entonces
age.
let's say a short future plan.
Future plan.
Let's say by December, which is a short-term
Yeah,
goal. Like by December,
by December, I will have, I don't know how to say, establecido o mudado.
but it depends. I mean, established, you can use it, but what do you mean? Established what?
Move to my new apartment.
I will have moved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moved to my new apartment or my new place.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So it's a very short term goal and you have a specific set time, right? So once December comes, you're going to move out, right? From
Yeah.
your actual house. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, listo, good. Okay, now let's check the opposite. Well, not the opposite, but the other type of tense, which is the future perfect continuous. Entonces, this one is going to be used to project, to make projections of ourselves. Listo? We're looking forward in time and we're also, well, not looking back, okay? So it refers to events or actions that are unfinished, but in the future will be finished, right? And we are going to use some time expressions. Listo? In this case, we're going to use will, have, been, and then the gerund form because it helps us to demonstrate or to express the continuous form. So let's see some examples. I will have been waiting here for 3 hours by 6 o'clock. Next year, I will have been working here for 4 years. So if you see, we have different time expressions over here, right? Number 3, when I finish this course, I will have been learning English for 20 years. In September, the head teacher will have been teaching at the school for 20 years. So once she reaches this month, she's going to complete this time, this period of time of teaching for 20 years, right? By 2025, I will have been living in London for 16 years. Questions about it?
No.
So far, good. Okay. Okay. When we are using the future perfect or the future perfect continuous, we use a particular point in the future, right? And we usually place it, well, we define the beginning and we place a comma after that time expression that we are using. Listo? Entonces, let's see the examples. By this time next year, your commitment to language study is going to have gotten stronger. Number 2, on August 1st, I will have been living overseas for 6 months. After a few months, you're going to have made real progress with English. Number 4, before next spring, he will have finished most of his course work. By the time you arrive in New York, Marisa will have already received the package you sent. When the van arrives, I will have been packing for 2 days and I probably won't have finished. Number 7, before I leave for Paris, I will already have sold my house and put my things in storage. And number 8, after I finish this, I will have completed everything on my to-do list. So if you notice, in both tenses, we are using different time expressions, ¿cierto? To refer the point in time in the future. And after you use all of them, we need to place a comma, okay? So let's tell them as like an introductory sentence, okay? That gives us, let's say, a reference in time. ¿Listo? And if you notice, we use different time expressions with both future perfect and future perfect continuous. So for the two of them, okay?
Okay.
Ready to practice?
Yeah.
So we're going to correct the sentences that we have over here. Let's read them and then we check them. By this time tomorrow, June will travel for 24 hours. Since we are mentioning a duration and a period of time, we're going to use the future perfect continuous. So June will have been traveling for 24 hours. ¿Listo? Number 2, by the end of next week, he will have been receiving his student ID card and registered for class. Number 3, he'll be going out more after a few weeks because he will have been more familiar with the city. And number 4, after studying English for a few months, he will have felt more confident about speaking to people. Okay. So let's check the sentences. Do you have questions about vocabulary maybe? Any of them?
Nope.
All good?
Yeah.
Listo. Entonces, I'm going to give you, let's say 3 minutes so you can check the sentences, find maybe the mistake if there is one, for you to check it, and then we will review them, okay? Ready, friend?
And no,
Okay, don't worry, don't worry.
this kind of tense is difficult.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky. I'm writing over here the difference between the two of them, if that helps you to guide yourself, okay? So on the first one is an activity or an action that you will finish before a specific time, ¿cierto? Like when we
Yeah.
say, in 10 years, I'll have graduated from high school. So in 10 years, that is going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe when you say by, for example, I think my son will have finished his English course by October. Or we could also use before. I hope I have found another job before the end of the year. So you're giving a period of time, and the action, you are supposed to finish it before that period of time, ¿cierto? And when we use the future perfect continuous, we talk about the duration, okay? Let me write over here, porque este quedó mal. Duration of an activity in the future time, okay? How the activity is going to last in the future, okay?
Okay.
Little bit clear,
Yeah.
at least. So in the continuous, remember that on continuous, we always talk about duration. ¿Listo? The duration of the activity or the action in a period of time. In the future perfect is an activity or a plan that you are going to finish before a date that you set or a time. ¿Listo? Puede ser un period of time.
Mhm.
Over here on number 3, are we talking about the duration of the activity or finishing an activity before a specific time?
Here we go, more. I think it's duration.
It is duration.
Yeah.
Because
But
you're not setting a specific time.
yeah,
Okay.
but the problem in these sentences is what is the verb that uh, go in form ing?
With the form with the ing, you say?
Yeah, because
Verb
the structure is have will have been plus a verb plus ing. But what
Exactly.
is the last verb?
But in this case, well, yeah, in this case you had received, in this other you had felt. In
Yeah,
this case is the verb be. So we will say will have, ¿cierto? Being
being. Oh, okay.
more familiar with the city. Okay.
Yeah,
That's the main verb. So don't get confused with this one because this one is the perfect form. Pero
yeah,
the main verb is verb be because it's be familiar. ¿Listo? That's the expression as well, to be familiar with. ¿Listo? Siempre va con with. Be familiar with. Okay?
yeah. And the last one, I think,
Mhm.
is the the sentences is okay
It
with
is okay
yeah, without a mistake.
because it's not a duration, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Will have been. I forgot how do I redo activities here. Bueno, we're gonna write it again. There we go. Okay, let's read them. So by the end of next year, he will have received his student ID card and registered for classes, ¿cierto? Entonces we have an action
Yeah.
that is going to be finished before this time. So
Yeah.
before the end of next week, he's going to get his ID card, ¿cierto? He will have
Yes.
received his ID card. So in this case, we're talking about future perfect, okay? Number 3, bueno, ya hablamos de number 3, that we are mentioning that we pay attention to the duration of the activity in the future, right? And on number 4, after studying English for a few months, okay, after this period, he will have felt more confident about speaking to people. Estamos hablando maybe about the duration of the activity?
Yeah.
No. Entonces, pues, in this case, that one would be correct. Okay.
Okay.
Porque no tenemos another expression of time additional that we can notice about the duration. Okay. Remember the ones that we check over here. Como mira, by 2025, I will have been living in London for 16 years.
Okay.
Tengo the first expression that is, of course, in future, but this second expression of time is giving me the sense that is an unfinished action and the duration of the action, right?
Okay.
For 16 years, right?
Okay.
So in this case, we don't have it.
Yeah.
So he's just finishing an activity or a goal before this time. What is going to happen? That he will have felt more confident. Listo, pero no tengo, you're not going to, remember that feel is an stative verb, remember?
Yeah.
And you don't use continuous forms with stative verbs. O sea, no es como que te vas a continue felting, ¿cierto? No, porque o sea, that only happens once, right? You don't continue feeling for a long period of time. ¿Listo? Entonces,
Okay.
number 1, we don't have a duration expression. Number 2, felt, o bueno, feel is the verb. It's a stative verb.
Yeah.
Entonces, remember that we don't use continuous forms with stative verbs. ¿Listo? That is the
Okay.
reason why. Okay, good. The good thing is that you correct yourself. Okay, over here, we have them. Look over
Summary.
here. Yes, I like this part because it summarizes a little bit better what we have talked, right? So we emphasize over here that something will be completed or achieved by a particular point in the future, right? What expressions do we use with future perfect? Se me olvidó decirte that part. With future perfect, bueno, to write it because we mentioned it before. You are going to use by, okay, by this time next year, by 2025, and so on and so on. Podemos usar as well before, okay, before next summer, before next week, before, what else? Before the end of the year, something like that. And we are also going to use within, because within also give us a reference of time. Listo? For example, let me think about one within. Within 10 years, I will have finished my master's degree, for example. Okay? Now, when we talk about future perfect continuous, as we mentioned before, we emphasize on the duration of the activity, ¿cierto? And there is an activity in progress at a particular time in the future. By the end of next year, you will have been studying your chosen language for, y mira que aquí tenemos the duration of time, for 12 months, okay?
Okay.
These tenses are used to express the completion, the future perfect, or the duration, the future perfect continuous of an action or an event at some time in the future. They can be used to talk about an event or an action that started in the past, but will not be completed until the future. Como pues a master's degree, right? You don't start a master's degree yesterday and then you finish it today, right? It's going to finish in the future. And well, we already mentioned how do you make them. And over here, the common time expressions, You can use this after, by then, before, when, and by the time that. Listo? So those are the expressions that you can use to guide yourself. Okay?
Okay.
Good. Ready to practice? A little bit more?
Yeah.
Still, we're going to correct if it is needed. Okay? So by this time next year, his younger sister will have been visiting him once or twice. When she's older, she probably will have wanted to study abroad too. Number 6, I'm sure he will change a lot by the time he comes back to Korea. Number 7, his family will have been surprised when he gets back because he will have been changing so much. Number 8, and just think the next time we see him, June will turn 22 already, and he will be away for a year. Does this think about completion of the activity or duration of the activity in order to correct them? Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
I have
Okay.
doubts.
You have doubts?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Entonces, number 5, what do you think?
The first one is present perfect because I have
Present perfect or present perfect?
a future perfect.
Ah, okay. Future perfect. Because
I have an action.
completed.
Yeah, completed.
Okay, but that by that period of time.
Yeah.
Listo, good. And the second one? Good as well.
I think, yeah, because
She's older, she probably will have wanted to study abroad too.
yeah,
Are we talking about the duration?
no,
Can she will have been wanting?
to be older.
Pero is want stative verb?
I don't remember.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. In
One
Spanish,
thing
you
is
can
not possible.
exactly. In Spanish, you can use it, but in English, no.
Okay.
Okay. Listo? And we don't have a period to define the duration of the activity. Okay?
Okay.
Entonces, that's why also that we cannot do it. Okay, number 6. I'm sure
He will have changed a lot by the time he comes back to Korea.
exactly something that is going to happen.
Yeah.
It's a completed action before he comes back, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Number 7. His family.
This sentence, I no idea.
You have no idea? Okay, let's check.
Yeah, because maybe I have a complete action because he gets back.
Yes.
Yeah, but the mistake is because I don't know. I will have been surprised.
Yes.
Maybe I think is correct. Will
Correct.
have correct. Will have been because I have a complete.
Are you going to continue being surprised? No.
No.
Get surprised. That's a
Yeah.
completed action, right? Listo. Let's check the other one. When he gets back, because is he going to, change? Think about change. He will have been changing. If you come back, right? Can you continue like having a duration of changing?
Oh,
No, right?
no.
Entonces, no, this one cannot happen in future perfect continuous. Number 1. Number 2, change is a stative verb.
Okay.
Entonces, in this case, we will say will
have
have
changed.
changed. Okay. Same in Spanish. You don't say como continue changing. No, you change.
Yeah.
And that's it, right? But you don't keep changing and changing. Different, for example, if we had a verb like evolve, right? Because evolve means to change, but permanently continue changing, right?
Okay. Yeah.
But in this case, change is not a verb that we can use in the continuous form. Okay.
Yes.
Listo. And number 8. And just think, the next time we see him, June will have turned exactly 22 already, and he will have been away for a year. Okay. It's a completed action because you turn 22, right? You don't continue turning 22. And he will have been away for a year. Are we talking about the duration?
Yeah.
Because it's a period of time.
Yeah.
For a year.
Right. Yeah.
Listo, good. Not that bad. Nice. You have to practice the stative verbs. That is going to help you a lot.
It's a lot.
If you doubt about the continuous form, remember the stative verbs. That's going to help. Listo?
Okay.
And think about that, like continue, change, like that's not something that, an action that has a duration. It cannot have a duration. Listo? Okay. Good. So this is the one that we already checked with the time expressions that remember that you need to place a comma. Okay.
Yeah.
And over here, we're going to underline words in each of the sentences that help us or make a reference to a point in the future. Okay. So we have over here the example. By the spring, Nate will have visited over 12 different countries. Okay. Let's see on number 2. Change the color. Okay. When the end of the week arrives, I will have written 4 exams.
The end of the week arrives.
When? From the beginning, when the
Okay.
end of the week arrives. Okay. Listo. Number 3, before long, I will have been working on this puzzle for an hour. It's impossible.
Before long and for an hour.
Exactly. Pero este es el del continuous.
Yeah.
Okay. So only the first one.
Okay.
Okay. Number 4, I can't believe he's still sleeping at 11. He'll have been sleeping for 12 hours. Over here.
For 12 hours.
There we go. And that's the continuous form.
Yeah.
When she leaves the house, she will have had 6 cups of coffee.
When she leaves the house.
Exactly. Oosh. My pulse is not very good. Okay, number 6. If it continues on Tuesday, it will have been raining for 3 weeks.
On Tuesday.
Bueno, we could say it on Tuesday. It's a future form and for 3 weeks
For
as
3
well.
weeks.
After I stop working, I will have painted 3 of the rooms in my house.
After I stop working.
By the time the plane lands, we will have been in the air for 7 hours.
By the time.
By the time, And over here we have 4.
7 hours.
Exactly. Listo? Good?
Yeah.
These references of time help us as well to identify the tense. Listo? They are essential in all tenses in English. Okay?
Okay.
Now let's talk about mixed conditionals. Entonces, let's start with these tips that Terry has, okay, to travel. So let's see over here. This is like a blog in which people ask, okay, questions, because she's a good advisor on travel, okay? Let's see over here. So Meg B says, a woman fell down in front of me during a sightseeing tour. I helped her up, but soon after I couldn't find my wallet. Do you think she might have taken it? So she says, it's very likely if you haven't been so nice, you probably still have your wallet. It's a common scam. Someone pretends to be in trouble, but actually turns out to be a thief. Okay. Bruno over here. I want to share a tip. I want to share a tip. My friend gave me that I used on my last vacation. If you're worried about losing your passport like I am, don't carry it around with you. Just keep it in your hotel room. So Terry says, that's a good tip. If there is a safe in your room, if not, keep your passport with you at all times. If someone had broken into your room, you would probably still be trying to get home. And number 3, Keen N says, on my last trip abroad, I brought a little notebook and pen to help me communicate while shopping. If I couldn't find something, I'd draw a picture. If I hadn't had that notebook and pen, my friends wouldn't be thanking me for the awesome souvenirs I brought them. That's a great idea when phrase books and dictionaries don't help. A picture can be worth 1,000 words, but you know there are also some great apps for that, right? So over here, we are mixing some conditionals like For example, if you hadn't been so nice, you would probably still have your wallet, right? Or over here, if someone had broken into your room, you would probably still be trying to get home. Or over here, if I couldn't find something, I'll draw a picture. Or if I hadn't had that notebook and pen, my friends wouldn't be thanking me for the awesome souvenirs I brought to them. Okay? So remember that when we use conditionals, we have two types of sentence, right? The if clause, right? The condition, and then we have a result. Yes? Entonces, let's check them. Let's say that these are the conditionals that we have already started, right? So we have real conditionals, which are the 0 and the first one, in which we use simple present. In the first one, we only use a simple present as well on the condition and then on the result. But on the first conditional, we use simple present in the condition and future in the result part, right? And then we have two real conditionals, ¿cierto? Which are the second and the third, en los que we imagine or pretend or think about different possibilities, but most of the time they are not real. So in those cases, for example, with the second conditional, we use past, simple past, if I had enough money, and then we use would as the possible outcome that we desire or that we would like to have, ¿cierto? And on the third conditional, we use as well simple past, but we can also use different types of modal verbs con have, okay, and the past participle to express the result. ¿Listo? Entonces, let's see. If the taxi driver had known the address, I will have arrived on time. Entonces, over here, remember that when we have the if, that is the condition. ¿Listo? The condition sentence. And then the result comes after that. Okay? Now, we're going to play like a roulette. We're going to mix this, all of this, okay? So the first type of mix that we can have is when we want to talk about true events in the past. So we are referring to events in the past, okay? ¿Listo?
Okay.
Entonces, condition is in the past, and then the result is also in the past because we are referring to past situations, right? Entonces, for example, over here, number 1, growing up, if I didn't behave well, my parents took my video games away. So these are true events, true situations, but in the past. ¿Listo? Number 2, if we got lost during our trip last year, we just asked someone for directions, right? Like when grandmas and grandpas say like, "Ay, mis tiempos, nosotros hacíamos this thing," right? Number 3, when I was a kid, I had bad dreams if I saw a scary movie. So if you notice, this first type of mix is when we talk about events or situations in the past, which are true or we want to express them and they were in the past. ¿Listo? Entonces we use the if condition with simple past and then the result with simple past as well. Okay?
Okay.
That is one of the first mix. Okay? Now, let's go to the second one. Okay, which is for hypothetical situations in the past. ¿Listo? Entonces estoy haciendo hypothetical situations in the past, pero the effects or the consequences are in the present. ¿Listo? Entonces, the second mix, we're going, bueno, we already mentioned hypothetical situations in the past that have effects, bueno, puede ser in the recent past or in the present. ¿Listo? Entonces, for example, in this case, the condition, vamos a usar had, and then the past participle, then complement. On the result, we're going to use would have, como si usáramos un mix entre second and third conditional, okay? Entonces, if I had been born with a good voice, I would have started my own band long time ago. Entonces, this is a hypothetical situation in the past, and it has a effect in a recent past, ¿cierto? Number 2, if he hadn't spoken Greek, his trip to Athens last year wouldn't have been so enjoyable. And number 3, I would have gotten married if I had said yes. Okay?
I have a question with the
Tell me.
first sentence.
Yes.
What is the reason that have two verbs?
What do you mean? With been?
Yeah, being born.
Because remember that with born, you always use verb to be. So you say, I was born, ¿cierto?
Okay.
¿Cierto? You always use born with verb to be.
Okay.
Entonces, that's why in this case, well, you have been, pero you need to use born as well, okay? That is the condition.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Ready for the third case of the conditionals, the mixed conditionals? Entonces,
Yes.
in the third case, we're going to talk about, let me erase this, about hypothetical situations that have effects in the, bueno, this one is in the present. Sorry, I made a mistake. I'm missing one. With the present. ¿Listo? Entonces, things that you wish to have happened in the past, and then the consequence, the result is in the present. Entonces, for that, we're going to use the subject, the if, and the had, past participle, like we did in the previous one, ¿cierto? Como in the previous one. And then, in the result, we're going to use would and the base form. ¿Listo? If I had studied harder when I was in school, I would have a better job today. Y fíjate que tengo the time expression of the present, okay? Number 2, if I had gone on a diet when the quarantine started, I would be thin now. And number 3, I would go to the party tonight if I hadn't had a fight with my friend yesterday. ¿Listo? In this case, on the result, please notice that we are always including an expression about the present. Now, tonight, right? And remember that when we use conditionals, we can change the order of the result and the condition. If you notice on number 3, we started with the result and then finished with the condition. If we start with the result, we don't place a comma with the condition clause, okay?
Okay.
And the one. Entonces, hypothetical situations that have effects in the future. Entonces vimos effects in the past, effects in the present, and effects in the future. All of them hypothetical, ¿cierto? Entonces, on the condition, we're going to use subject, if, had, past participle. Then, similar to the ones that we checked before, and then on the result, we are going to include would, pero le vamos a poner the be and the gerund, okay?
Okay.
Of course, in the cases in which you can use the gerund, ¿cierto? Porque, por ejemplo, in this case with be, been, depende, ¿no? ¿Listo? Entonces, let's see over here. If she had booked her flight before now, she would be. En este caso, acuérdate que el be puede ser stative y no stative. In this case, no va a estar would be being in Paris, right? Sino solamente would be in Paris next week, okay?
Okay.
Number 2, if I hadn't taken a year off from school, I would be, ahora sí, graduating this June. And I would be flying to Lisbon tonight if I hadn't lost my passport. Okay, and if you notice, we have also expressions about future, no? como next week, como this June, o también tonight, which is one that we can use, one time reference in the future. Okay?
Okay.
Questions hasta ahí so far?
Uh,
These are lots.
yeah.
These ones are very used in English. O sea, a lot. Okay? So we are going to use had or hadn't plus past participle and would or wouldn't to talk about hypothetical events. ¿Listo? That have results or consequences in the past or in the present. Okay? And a conditional sentence is made of a conditional clause or the if clause and a result clause. In mixed conditional sentences, the past and the present are mixed to talk about hypothetical situations. ¿Listo? Such as, if she hadn't saved so little money, she would be able to afford a new car. If you had made reservations, you wouldn't be looking for a hotel now. ¿Listo? So we're going to mix different conditions. Ready to practice?
Can you go to
Back?
the previous? Yeah.
This one
No, yeah.
or the previous ones?
The next one.
This one is for hypothetical situations in the past that have effects in the future. Pero acuérdate que vimos the ones that have effects in the past or the ones that have effects in the future. ¿Listo?
Yeah. The two examples in the grammar notes are is the force mixed conditional, yeah?
Is there what? Say that again, please.
The two sentences in the examples are in for mixed conditional, yeah?
In the for
form.
group, you
Yeah.
mean? Yes. So this
Okay.
one has effects in the future, right?
Okay.
And then we have the ones in the present, the ones in the past, and the ones in which you talk about true events in the past. And that's it. Okay?
Okay.
O sea, en realidad, we use it more this one, and this one. Okay?
Yeah.
Those are the most common mix. Pero you can also have this one about past events. Okay? Pero como son unreal situations, you use it a lot.
Okay.
So we're going to complete the sentence with the correct form of the verbs in parentheses. So let's see them and then we're going to have time to do it. If I had been more adventurous when I was younger, I wouldn't have any regrets about things I missed. Okay, and we're using wouldn't in the negative form and have. Okay. Number 2, the airline lost my luggage. If I bring a change of clothes in my carry-on bag, I not shop for new clothes now. Number 3, this flight is so long. If I not buy an economic ticket, I be more comfortable now. Number 4, if you learn to speak some Mandarin before moving to Taipei, you'll be able to ask someone for directions now. And number 5, if Marta not become a flight attendant, she probably not live as much as she does. Questions about the words, maybe? Vocabulary?
No.
Not really?
No.
Okay, I'm going to give you a minute for each one of them because I know they are kind of tricky, okay? Go ahead. As a recommendation, keep in mind that what we checked before, ¿no? Acá, como had, hadn't, would, wouldn't, ¿cierto? And then vamos a hacer exercises de todos los mixed, okay? Ready, friend?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, I have a mistake with hadn't because I put the
Ah, ya vi,
yeah.
the apostrophe. Yes, okay. Read number 2, please. The airline
The airline lost my
luggage.
luggage. If I had broke a change of clothes in my carry-on bag, I wouldn't shop for new
Shop.
clothes now.
Listo, good. Okay. Number 3, this flight
This flight is so long. If I hadn't bought an economy ticket, I would be more comfortable now.
comfortable.
Comfortable.
Comfortable. Okay. Listo. Number 4, if you
If you had learned to speak some Mandarin before moving to Taipei, you will be able to ask someone for directions now.
listo, good. Number 5, if Marta
If Marta hadn't become a flight attendant, she probably wouldn't travel as much as she does.
as much.
As much as she does.
Listo, good. These ones have consequences in the present, right?
Yeah.
So they are good.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Now, let's check the nice part. So over here is the summary, okay? So we can have that in many forms. And remember that we are going to describe how the situations are affected in the past, in the present, or in the future. Listo? Now, if if a past form in both the if clause and the result clause is to talk about true events in the past, entonces we're going to use simple past and simple past, right? To talk about true
Yes.
events in the past. I'm going to change the color because purple plus purple equals crazy. Okay, we're going to use past perfect, past perfect in the if clause and would or wouldn't have in the past participle of the verb in the result to talk about hypothetical situations in the past. So hypothetical situations in the past. Bueno, todas son hypothetical situations in the past. But the difference is that they have effects in the recent past. If I had been born with a good voice, I would have started my own band a long time ago. Listo? The effect is in the past, a recent past. Listo? Now, we also use the past perfect in the if clause plus wouldn't or would and the verb in the base form in the result clause to describe the hypothetical situation in the past, but the one that has effects in the present, como los que acabamos de hacer, right? And then we're going to also use past perfect in the if clause. Let me fix that. Would or wouldn't plus the verb in the result clause to talk about hypothetical situations in the past that have effects on the future. Listo? And remember that we can also use the verb con ing. Listo? Depending on the verb, ¿cierto?
Yeah.
Because if we have a stative verb, pues we cannot use ing. Pero if it is not a stative verb, we can use it. Entonces, if you notice, in the three of them, we use past perfect in the if clause. The consequence or the result is the one that is going to change. If it is in past, voy a usar past participle, porque en todos I am going to use would or wouldn't, right?
Yeah.
Pero if the effect is in the past, in the recent past, so we're going to use past participle, would, have, and past participle. If the effect is in the present, only would and the verb in the base form. And if it is in the future, I'm going to use would or wouldn't, and then the verb with ing, if it is not stative, okay?
In the last one is not missing the B.
Acuérdate que el be in this case is a stative.
Yeah, but in the explication.
In the
Because
explanation.
in the explanation, because mention a
Yes,
would
yes,
or
yes.
wouldn't plus verb, but
Verb be. Yes, you are
verb
right.
is
Verb be and the ing if you want
Yeah.
of the next verb. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, you are right. Okay.
Okay.
Ready to practice?
Yeah.
Okay, you're very confident. So I have a good feeling it's going to be good, okay? So we're going to complete the sentences with the correct form of the verbs in parentheses. Sometimes more than one answer is possible, okay? So keep that in mind. And we have 6 different sentences. As a kid, I always enjoy school if I, and then we have like the teacher. Now, number 2, if I study harder last year, I not have repeated the course this year. Number 3, if he not speak Greek, his trip to Athens last year be so enjoyable. Number 4, when I was young, scary movie, I have bad dreams. Number 5, when I was a kid, if my father go away on a business trip, he always call at 8 to say goodnight to us. Number 6, if I spent less money when I was younger, I have a nice little nest egg for few years. Okay. Questions about the vocabulary?
Uh, Maybe with the last one. Need a nice little nest egg. Is that kind of expression or what?
No, let me show it to you. Let me place it to change this.
Because
No, yes, yes, yes. I'm just as a saving. Okay. What's the
ahorro,
word?
yeah.
Yes, yes, as a saving. Pero I forgot the word in Spanish. There is a word for that. No, yeah, do it and I'll come down. But it's a saving. It's a type of saving.
Yeah.
Pero I'm going to think about the word in Spanish because I don't remember it. And it's very common. Pero I don't remember it in this moment.
Yeah, because the conditional is about money, and the second one I talk about nido de huevos y yo. Okay.
No, it's not literal. No, don't take it literal, please.
Yeah.
Como una alcancía es la palabra. It's a fund of money.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Alcancía, that was the word. But it's a saving, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No more, I think. Yeah, no more.
Okay, good. Yeah, you thought maybe it was an actual bird, right? Como nest egg. Como this one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. No. Look, retirement, money. So it's a special saving for a particular purpose.
Okay.
¿Listo? No es como a regular saving or funding, pero it has a specific purpose. ¿Listo? No como una alcancía normal, como que tú dices, ay, voy a guardar plata porque quiero ahorrar. You usually have a purpose, right?
Yeah.
Listo, good. Ready?
I don't remember if have is a standing verb.
No.
No? Okay. 1 moment.
Mhm. There we go. Okay, good. On the first one, we have a true event in the past, right? As a kid, I always enjoy school if I like the teacher. So this is true event in the past, right? So we use past and past. Good. Number 2, if I had studied harder last year, I wouldn't have to repeat the course this year. So this is what?
Present.
A consequence in the present, right?
Yeah.
A true event.
A third mixed condition.
With a consequence in the present, no?
Yeah.
Or a result, better. Result in the present. How do you know?
With a word this year.
This year. Listo, good. Okay, if I hadn't spoken Greek, his trip to Athens last year would have been so enjoyable. Result in the recent past, in the present, or in the future. Exactly.
The recent past.
In the recent past, ¿cierto?
Yeah.
Result in the recent past, right?
Yes.
Number 4. When I was young, if I saw a scary movie, I had bad dreams. What is it?
True events in the past.
True event. True event.
True events.
Remember the V. True event in the past. There we go. Listo. Number 5. When I was a kid, if my father went away on a business trip, he always called at 8 to say goodnight to us. So this one is also a true event in the past, ¿cierto?
Yeah.
Listo, good. And this one, if I had spent less money when I was young, hypothetical situation, pero the effect or the result is in the
future.
In the future, there you go. Entonces, if I had spent less money when I was younger, I would have been having a nice little nest egg in a few years. ¿Cómo lo sé? Because of the expression. What is the expression?
In a few years.
In a few years, right?
Yes.
Complicated?
No.
Now, when you think about the consequences, if they are and you find the time reference, the signal words como this year, now, ¿cierto? All of them, you can work with them better, okay? Entonces, recommendations. Pay attention to the time reference, the signal words. Remember stative verbs, okay? And notice on the, pay attention to the result, if it is in the past, in the recent past, in the present, or in the future, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. It is complicated at the beginning, but once you figure it out, that is not that complicated. I have a game for you. I don't think we have enough time, but we're going to do a little bit of it. So it's a contrast between future perfect and future perfect continuous. So he's trying to finish his book right now. The entire book by the end of the year. So he will have written or he will be writing.
We'll have written.
We'll have written. Written. Vamos a ver. Good. Okay. Number 2. Sam is paying for his car. The last payment is in May. By June, he for his car. He will be paying or he will have paid. Duration or completed action?
Last payments in May. By June. Will have paid.
Completed action, yes.
Yeah.
On June, right? Sarah has an exam next week. By the end of this week, all chapters in her book.
He will have
Read.
read.
Remember the past participle of read is read. The flight to Madrid takes off at 9. At 10 a.m. to Madrid.
The flight to Madrid takes off at I don't know. The flight to Madrid
What do you
takes
think? It's
off.
continuous or is it completed action?
I think it's continuous.
Or is a duration?
Yeah.
Bueno, let's try. Yes, because it's going to happen at 10. So at 10,
Yeah.
she's going to be flying. Listo. Okay, so I'm going to leave you this one so you can keep practicing a little bit the difference between the two of them, but I think you got it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And that would be all. Thanks for being in class with me today.
Thank you, teacher, for the class.